Hello, welcome to the channel. This is Tyler, and today I'm going to be helping you optimize your hash operation in Kenshi. So if this kind of thing is your bag and you don't mind me removing the mystic veil on hash slinging in this game, then stick around. And don't forget to like and subscribe if this helped you get back on track for your drug smuggling needs. That aside, let's break down smuggling in granular detail, shall we? So there's several great ways to optimally do this. It just varies on how big of an operation you want to maintain and just how much profit you're trying to make. I plan to go through them from cheapest to most extravagant, and mind you, I'm only going to be doing this through the vanilla options. The ideas tend to get fairly intricate and interesting with the addition of mods, which I'm not going to go over today. So I guess the first start is to go with a Wanderer playthrough. It's pretty simple. I think the first step that you'd want to do is find yourself a second companion for this character, just so you could scrape yourself up during your training regime. I recommend Ruka, as she is free, and this is probably going to be the cheapest route that we could go through. So once we have Ruka, we're going to go ahead and try to accumulate as much heavy equipment and copper and things to just build up encumbrance, because encumbrance equals strength training. And what you're going to want to do there is just run between Squin and the hub until you get a good amount of strength. I'm thinking about 25 to 30 is a good amount to carry a load of hash to where we want to go. Additionally, you're going to want to at least get athletics to 50. 50 is about the range that is appropriate for outrunning beak things, which is our most deadliest foe out there in between us and where we're going to sell this hash. So also, it won't do you any good just overloading yourself indiscriminately with weight. You're going to only want to do it until your strength XP rate says 50%. That is the maximum amount of strength XP through walking you could gain. So any more than that is just wasteful and making yourself needlessly slow. So once it gets to 50, which it will slowly decelerate the stronger your guy gets, stop there and just slowly up the weight until he's very strong. As you can see, I'm motivating my guy any means necessary here, Run for your life, my friend. Run for your life. That bone dog isn't just going to leave you broken on the ground. He's going to eat you, bitch. So at that point, once you think you're strong and fast enough to outrun at least the swampy boys in the swamp, you're going to go ahead and make a trip to Shark. Hash capital of Kenshi, essentially. Yeah, just go ahead and get there, and you're just go there with a wooden backpack and a dream, my friends. And I wouldn't necessarily worry about getting 50 quite yet. Once you're about in the high 40s, you're going to go ahead and just naturally gain that athletics on your way to the swamp. So just, no need to worry too much about it, but be in the high 40s by the time you leave for the swamps. It's probably for the best. Also make sure that your runner isn't being held back by your slower characters. It doesn't matter how much athletics you have, but if he's trying to keep pace with Ruka, who's wearing heavy armor and hasn't been as lethally trained as your other guy, doesn't matter how fast he is, he's gonna try to, stick with her. As you can see here, my problem I had. But, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger in Kenshi, so So once you bought out all the hash you could fit into your wooden backpack, and you got your guy in a nice sleek runner's outfit, you're going to want to have as light as armor, or even no armor whatsoever, to make yourself as fast as possible. From there, you also want to make sure you click off, your keep up status, or just put him in a group by himself. Keeping up by yourself is just going to make him his maximum speed anyway. Then, you're going to want to make yourself over into this area that I just highlighted. This place is called Lagoons Flats, and in this place they have no law whatsoever. And as you can imagine, being next to Venge, the Boneyard, and the deserts, shipments aren't exactly prominent there. Also, they have a 400% markup for hash, making this a great place to start your hash run. They also have a lot of vendors with a lot of money. I think they have 3 of them with 25,000, and then they have a couple ones with a higher 10,000s area. So it's a great place to start. One of my favorite places to start selling hash. In here, as you can see, you could turn your modest $5,000 investment from the hounds to at least like 50,000. And yeah, it's much more than you started with. And from there, it just snowballs. And that's how you run it, with just one guy, one dream, one backpack, And yeah, so you're going to accumulate quite a bit of money, and maybe you want to make more money. And so the way to make more money, I would say, is to cut out the middleman altogether and start growing the hash yourself. So now I'll explain that and what you're going to need to do that with. As you can see, it's not that much to actually get started, especially with the amount of money that you're going to be making doing these runs to Lagoons Flats and back. But to start it off, you're going to need at least 44 research books. Now, this is going to encompass a lot of the critical research that you're going to be doing. As you can see, you're going to need small house to get into technology 2. Makeshift walls are useful to funnel your enemies into a more manageable area for your warriors and mercenaries to handle them. And field generator theory will also be necessary for this because you can't use windmills. In the swamp, there is no wind in this area whatsoever. So field generator theory, absolutely necessary. Getting into technology 2, you're going to need 6 books for that. I recommend researching medium building shells 6 as well. And hemp farming, obviously, for, obvious reasons. Well 2 is fantastic. It automates your well, as well as it will operate at a 240 increased yield rate inside of the swamps due to the increased rainfall that you'll have in that area. This is great for farming also. You don't have to water your crops in the swamps. And really this well is just so that you could get hashish production off the ground. And it will remain necessary for the remainder of your hashish production needs. Biofuel is absolutely necessary as well. Again, windmills don't work, so you want to make your own fuel to offset some of that overhead from going back and forth and buying fuel. That's just kind of annoying, right? So Technology 3 will run you 10 books. You're going to need your engineering research to research hashish production, which is the whole soul and purpose of this build. And then upgrade your small generators 1 and 2. This will double their production to 70 as opposed to 40. And that's critical. And hemp fuel, biofuel, absolutely necessary. You're going to have so much hemp on your hands so that this will lead to infinite fuel to produce more hash. Thus, it's a vicious circle. From here, you're going to need at least 3 farmers. It doesn't really matter if they're skilled or not. They will gain the skill over time. But if you want a freebie, one good freebie is Mew, M-I-U. She is a denizen of the swamps, and she has the unique ability to sense spiders from a couple chunks away. Additionally, she starts off with like 50 farming skill as well, so that's fantastic. You could also pick up Hammond and Dr. Chang. They're also freebies. And that'll offset the 9,000 cats if you really don't want to spend it on a nobody. You're going to need 7 laborers. The nobody price is typically 3,000. They don't really need any special skills whatsoever. They're going to be making your hash. And so that is the optimal amount. I'll explain why in a minute. And then you'll have to pick up 1 engineering research. You can pick this up in Lagoons Flats for 8,000 cats. Easily done. So additionally, you're going to have to pay off Big Grim 4,000 cats. She wants you to smuggle hash and bring back the money to her. It doesn't really matter where you get the cats from, but you're going to want to pay her out 4,000, which will get you the allyship of the hounds. And the hounds will come and defend you from red sabers and swamp ninjas and the Black Dragon clan over the desert yonder. So they're useful. You're also going to have to pay them an additional 2,000 cats weekly just to build up on their swamplands, which is a minuscule amount. You're going to be making cats hand over fist through this run. So I would also probably recommend spending 8,000 weekly as part of your overhead as well for mercenaries. They will defend you from the other things that the hounds won't defend you from, which are just dust bandits and red spiders. And those things are horrible. I would definitely sacrifice mercenaries instead of your own people to defend against those. So and I would also recommend probably tech hunters over the mercenaries because tech hunters are just better in general and they cost about the same. And so when I did it like this with 7 laborers and 3 farmers, I was able to produce up to 500 hash. That's right, 500 hash, which is the maximum amount I could literally sell for the granted areas on this run. So I'll go over that next. And yeah, I almost forgot to mention that you're going to also probably want to invest 10,000 cats into making the Shinobi Thieves your allies. This will allow you to sell hash in the United Cities region, which is a good part of the run. So just thought I'd mention that as well. You could easily join up with them in Hub. Just pay the 10,000 and you're in like Flynn. So the first run I make is to Clown Steady. It's a pretty easy run from Shark. It helps to have disguises, but not necessary. You could get by, just kind of saves coming your way. Typically make about 10k on this, and yeah, pretty simple. Open and shut, just sell to the Thieves Guild here, and be on your way. So then we go ahead and we make our way over to Katoon. It's another Thieves Guild area to sell. Yeah, so you go on through here, and then you're going to go ahead. I typically make about 12 to 13k off this one. Pretty simple, just as easy as the other one. No problems, just, you know, make your way there. So the next place we're going to go to is Morn, and you're going to notice that our money is going to start increasing now as we go along. You're going to want to stop by the bar first. He typically has 8,000 to 9,000 cats on him at any given time. So you go in, just sell like regular. Show you here. Boom. Yeah, he's got about 8,000. Sell off as much as you can, and then you're going to make yourself over to the Travelers over here. And yeah, he is loaded though. Okay, he has about 25k. We're going to sell him as much as we can as well. It's going to net us about 31 to 32,000 for this run, so I'm just going to go ahead and round it up to 32. But yeah, and then you should be out of backpack hash at this point. Should be. Sometimes, not always. So mind you, this is a pretty treacherous run. You're going to want to keep your eye out for beak things. They can pull some shenanigans and stop up your guys. So as I explained earlier, Lagoon Flats is a very lucrative place to go. If you want to just stop here, you can net up to at least 100k. My bar, the second bar in this area, is glitched and he doesn't get any more money. But it's about 100k that you get from doing this, and it's pretty damn lucrative. These guys, they restock every day their money, so you could probably just stay the night here and just keep selling your hash. I, for one, don't really like doing that because I think it kind of makes it harder for them to reset. But I mean, I have had luck. I could just stay in the other end that's already glitched. I've ruined that one anyway, so I just stay up in there and I will just sell hash till I run out. It is a little tedious. I don't really like doing it. And I much prefer just keeping the train going because it keeps my verisimilitude going, you know what I mean? And the whole hash smuggling aspect, you know, feels better when you try to run it through the UC. Me personally, I like doing that kind of thing. It makes me feel like a little bandito, you know? But yeah, so I'm going to show you my route from there. And so yeah, if you can see here, it's about 155k made here. Not bad. So this little micro run is consistent of hang, heft, and shobatai. And I start over here in hang. I usually buy a house in here, and I'll tell you what I do with it later. So hang will run you about 13 to 14k. It's pretty simple, just run up, sell to your thief buddies here. And yeah, you know, it's pretty straightforward. Sell it right off your mule. Boom, baby. Easy money. So yeah, from there you get 14k. You head up over to heft. Heft's a little bit more hefty, let's say. It gives you about 25k, give or take. You move that off over there. Pretty easy to stop by the Thieves Guild. Try not to get caught by the guards. If you have a disguise, all the better. And yeah, just sell it all off. So yeah, you get your 25k from heft, you head over to shobatai. Shobatai has a little bit less than you would like. It's about 9 to 10k, depending on the day that you show up. And yeah, you know, it's a small amount, a meager amount, but it'll net about 9k. And altogether the run will run you about 38 to 40k possible. I'm gonna lower it a little because I don't really like this run too terribly much. And usually I take my overload and I just kind of dump it in the house. I dump it in the house, I hire a guy, and he makes this run. every day. So it'll net you about 30 to 40k each day. And you won't have to deal with the crossover venge, which is pretty dangerous and annoying to make, in my opinion. So yeah, that's those are my two main ways of doing it. There is a way to set up all these little micro bases inside each district that you plan to sell. That will require a lot of micromanagement and probably a mod. This mod is, I believe it's called moisture farming, and you're going to need that. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy your water, and you're going to be limited and bottlenecked by the amount vendors have, and it's going to just require a lot of micromanagement. Not my preferred way of doing that. I honestly rather just have the big old macro, fucking take a big old jump of 500 hash and just run it all across the country, and then dump it and ship and hang, and then have my little micro runner do all those runs until I'm all out. And by the time I have all that done, I have a nice pile of 500 more hash. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's pretty much it. But, I mean, you can do the micro. I don't prefer doing it. I haven't done it yet. It's just, you know, there's a lot of loading involved in Kenshi, and going from place to place to place doesn't really appeal to me. You know, it might work for some people, but for me, honestly, I would rather just have, you know, a little group of workers just diligently working in the swamp. And then I have my runners come and grab it and then take it off. So, I know I'm repeating myself. I don't mean to, and I hope this was informative for you. Yeah, that's my hash guide. Take it or leave it, I guess. And I love you guys. I'll catch you guys next time, and I hope you drop by. And don't forget to like and subscribe, man. It goes a long way for me, man. And yeah, great. Have a good one. Bye.